Are you facing yet another season or year of the same old thing? Everyone faces this from time to time, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to journal your way out of this feeling. Today, I have 3 journaling prompts to help reset your mindset. Mindset? What is mindset? I've learned that mindset is a buzzword lately that encompasses your core beliefs about yourself. There are 2 mindsets for most of us. One is fixed and one is a growth mindset. And unfortunately, most of us drift towards a fixed mindset, feeling like this is as good as it gets. Like Popeye the Sailor Man used to say, I am what I am, and that's all that I am. And although you feel that way from time to time, a growth mindset is much, much more healthy, that this isn't as good as it gets. I personally believe this is from all those childhood stories where the end was, and they lived happily ever after. And there was no more growth. There was no more building of skills and no more relationships. They just ended the story with they lived happily ever after. There are games that are the same way too, that once you achieve the goal and you are the victor, that's it. You live as the victor. There's no more. There's no more skills building. There's no more next promotion. There's no more next thing for you. And the problem is that stories end with and the journey continued are just not exciting. They're not fulfilling. I'm sorry to say that they lived happily ever after certainly sells better than they continued to work on their relationships and grew personally and taught their community how to love and learn. Or, after she won the game, she experienced many setbacks, but saw her mistakes as learning opportunities and continued to practice and work on her mental game. It just doesn't sell as well. But the truth is, this is really what we should teach ourselves. This is really what we should start thinking about more seriously. Do we choose she won and she faced complacency, or do we choose she won and she continued to work on her game? So how do you change your perspective from I'm facing yet another year of the same old thing? Candidly, I've written this script 3 times now because I face this too. I'm finding that I'm not only talking to you, I'm also talking to me when I'm using these journaling prompts. So please take a moment to grab your journal and let's work through these together. These prompts can be used every day or every week or once a week. Just depends on the cadence that you'd like to focus on. They're especially helpful if you feel like you're working on the same old thing and you start feeling that not progressing personally or in the work that you're doing. It reminds me of something that my grandma used to say. She would say, I've got the same bucket of stuff, just a different day. When you feel like that, pull out these journaling prompts and try to work through them. Prompt number 1. What challenges or obstacles have I faced recently, and how did I approach them? Words can be a powerful thing, and your approach to problems can be defined by the words you use to describe them. Negative self-talk is a really, really big deal. For example, after a tough time physically or mentally, it can be easy to say, I can't do this. I'm just not good enough. But you can adopt a more positive frame of reference and instead say, I'm getting better every day instead of I'm not good enough. Or I'm learning how to do this instead of I can't do this. Even something like I hate my job could be reframed into I'm working on my skill set today so that I can do something different later on. It is challenging to write about this. So you have to be brave, you have to be courageous, and put down on the page possibly some ugly things about yourself and how you're stuck. But try to be courageous and write it all down. Before prompts 2 and 3, I would like to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Scott. I help people with journaling because I believe that writing down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences is the best way to improve your mindfulness. Mindfulness helps improve your focus and productivity in a sustainable way. If you are interested in a journey of mindfulness and improved productivity, please subscribe and check out my videos. Okay, prompt number 2. What new skills or knowledge have I acquired recently? How did I go about learning them? And how can I apply this learning to other areas of my life? This is a very long and leading prompt, It almost answers the prompt for itself. But essentially, what did you learn last year and how did you go about learning it? Record in your journal what worked well, what didn't work well. For example, was it researching a new phone plan for your family? Was it finding out that car repair just isn't your thing and you've had to learn to deal with that? Was it trying out pickleball and falling in love with it so much that you decided that you'd be a professional in 6 months? You get the point. What worked, what didn't work, how did you learn it, and how can you repeat that? Okay, let's move on to prompt number 3. What am I doing to change? Change is a strange thing. It's something you have to do to learn how to do it. It's like riding a bicycle. You don't just read a manual or read concepts about balance and motion and suddenly get on a bike and you can ride it. You really have to get on the bicycle and ride to actually learn how to ride a bicycle. This is the way change is. By doing something or working on change, you actually tune your intuition to the direction you're going. It's similar to the old 10,000 hour rule. If you've done something enough, eventually your intuition about that change gets built into your experience and you become more likely to succeed in that area. So write it down. What are you doing to change? When you feel like you're carrying the same bucket of stuff around, except for on a different day, drop back and write down, what am I changing? What am I doing to change this feeling? Okay, we're wrapping up this video. I did want to remind you that it takes courage to write about mindset, and it takes courage to change. Consider yourself a brave heart and take the time to enjoy the journey. Please take the time to check out the links in this video. And if you're just getting started with journaling, I have a 7-day schedule that you can use to kickstart your habit. Also, sign up for my newsletter for weekly encouragement. Okay, that's it. We'll see you next time.